Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome to the Wrestling Corner where we talk all things wrestling, and we're talking about WrestleMania 10. This is possibly the start of WrestleMania week. I don't know. I plan on doing. My plan is to do WrestleMania reviews all week. Although I have not pre-recorded them, so it might be hard for me to keep up with it. But we'll start with this. And we'll see where it goes. WrestleMania 10. Why WrestleMania 10? I don't know, because I want to do an older one. I'm going to go too old. The 80s ones might put me to sleep. So, I figured this could be a good start, and then realized there's really only 2 good matches on this. There's a reason why they only go back to the ladder match, because it's really the biggest thing on it. There could have been a couple other ones. I mean, the main event, Yokozuna and Bret Hart, is fine. But I don't know. It feels like they're just making up for the end of WrestleMania 9. You know, where Hulk Hogan decided to use his backstage politics to give himself another title match, another title run, brother. Ran out, won the belt, and, yeah. But WrestleMania 10, live from Madison Square Garden, New York City. We start with Little Richard lip-syncing America the Beautiful. And then when I say lip syncing, he's lip syncing. He's just... And if I can for a minute talk about the America the Beautiful stuff. I'm a proud American. I love my country, despite who the president is. I love my country. But even I can tell you that having some singer or whatever come out and sing America the Beautiful to start a WrestleMania show. Especially since now they do it each night. It's 2 nights and they have someone else sing. Maybe one's the national anthem, one's America the Beautiful, whatever. We don't need it. Because you start the show, you get hype with the hype packages, and then you have to sit there with some blowhard singer singing what is essentially a ballad for 2.5 minutes, and you're just like, all the excitement just goes because you're ready to go, you're ready to have the first match, and you have to sit there and wait for the singer to shut the hell up. And especially when you have singers, and I was going to go on about live performances, this is lip syncing, but like singers, a lot of times some singers, when they do live versions of songs, stretch it out, and like it feels like there's an extra minute and a half at the end for the Sea to Shining Sea part in this. And knowing that it's pre-recorded, I don't know. I just think it takes all the air out of the excitement of when you're starting a WrestleMania. And then you have to sit there and listen to someone sing a ballad for 2.5 minutes, and you're just like, can we just go to the first match? Because that's really all we want to see. We're here to watch the people in the ring during the matches, not someone singing. You can say a lot about the stuff nowadays where they keep going to celebrities. No one cares. We're here to see the people performing in the ring. We don't care about celebrities. I will say the celebrities in this are worked in pretty well. You know, they're a part of the matches for somewhat. But, you know. First match of the night, one of the better matches. Owen Hart versus Bret Hart. Brother versus brother. And the ending to this match. The finish confused me, because I swear I remember Bret winning this match. Because I was like, oh yeah, this is a nice match. Bret wins, gives him momentum for his title match with Yokozuna. Owen wins this match. And I went, but why? What is the point of him winning? It doesn't do anything for him. He doesn't get a push. He doesn't go... No, he doesn't. Does he get a rematch for the title, maybe? Does he get a match for the title since he beat Bret? I don't know. I don't know, I didn't look it up. But what does this do for him? He beat Bret. Okay. But maybe Bret should have won to get momentum for his match with Yokozuna? Yes? He rolls him up. He doesn't... It's not a clean in the sense of he hit him with a move and pin him 1, 2, 3. It's a roll-up. So a modern wrestling finish. It's a roll-up, so it's not necessarily completely clean, but it's I don't know. Some dude from the Hair Club for Men is here, and Howard Finkel has a hairpiece on. clearly it's a fake hairpiece and not his real hair. But yeah, okay. Then we have Bam Bam Bigelow and Luna versus Doink and Dink. Whoa, WrestleMania. By the way, that song, if you listen to the album version, it starts with "Who's ready for the Survivor Series?" But it's a WrestleMania song. Whoa, whoa, WrestleMania. Yeah, I don't know. Does this sound like WrestleMania match to you? Bam Bam Bigelow and Luna versus Doink and Dink? Because it's not. It goes 6 minutes. I'm talking about. I stopped doing the match times towards the end, but yeah, the first match went 20 minutes and 21 seconds. This went 6 minutes and 9 seconds. Whatever. Doink and Luna, or not Doink. Bam Bam and Luna won. Can we just? Bill Clinton is here. I was in the bathroom taking a piss. I should have went during the match, but I waited till the match was over for some reason. And I heard "Hail to the Chief," and then they said, "It's the president. It's Bill Clinton." I'm like, "What the hell?" I come out. It's not Bill Clinton, and you can tell it's not Bill Clinton. And this would have been fine if they just showed him at a distance. But why would you? Later, they keep going back to the presidential box to talk to this fake-ass Bill Clinton. Where they're very close with the camera and you can tell it's not actually Bill Clinton. Why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense to me. People are already going to know he's fake, but it's from a distance they can try to figure, is it really him? If it's not. But when you zoom in to a box with Tom Pettengill interviewing him, and it's just like, why? Why would you do that? Because now everybody knows he's fake. You know? This wasn't like when they had Rose. What was it? Was it Obama versus Hillary or something? You knew that was fake, but I don't know. Who? Okay. We had Randy Savage versus Crush with Mr. Fuji, and what was announced as a Falls Count Anywhere match. But I don't know what kind of cockamamie rules this match has to be called a Falls Count Anywhere match, because I was confused. Like, it's a Falls Count Anywhere match. There's no qualifications, no countouts, and I'm watching it, and so it's like, oh, that was very quick. They're going outside, they're fighting, and Randy Savage pins Crush. I went, okay, cool, it's over. That was a quick match, and now Crush has 60 seconds to get back in the ring. What? That's not how that works. What? Huh? Apparently, the rules of a Falls Count Anywhere match used to be Falls Count Anywhere in the arena. I'm assuming it's only if you pin on the outside that you get 60 seconds to get back in the ring, because if you pin on the inside of the ring, I don't think that there's a point to that. So, yeah. I don't know. Also, I think the finish was screwed up a little bit. I mean, it worked, but like they fight to a backstage area. The ref does not come with them. Or does, maybe? I don't know. But he gets a pin in the backstage area, and then the Savage does. And the Savage ties Crush up, hanging him upside down, but can't tie the thing all the way, so he tries to tie it and then leaves, and Crush falls a little bit, and then he goes back out to the ring, but Savage doesn't need to get back in the ring. He does. The referee counts to 10, or the 60 seconds is done, and Savage wins the match. I think this is Savage's last match in WWE, if I remember correctly. Maybe I know he goes to, maybe he starts in 95. I don't know, but this is his last WrestleMania match, that's for sure. What was this? The confusing choices don't get better. Bill Clinton is back. He's being interviewed by Todd Pettengill, and IRS is there talking about he's glad Clinton raised the taxes, because of course. We have Alundra Blaze versus Leilani Kai. This match lasted 3 minutes and 20 seconds because Mr. McMahon booked it and he hated the women's division, so Yeah, Alundra Blaze wins. There's not really much to say. It just they fight a little bit. She hits a German suplex with a bridge, and then was it Northern Lights? I don't know. I don't care. And she wins. Next, we get Rhonda Shear from USA Up All Night, I guess. Tug Pettengill is interviewing her, but HBA shows up and steals her away. But then Burt Reynolds, of all people, shows up and steals her away. Sure. Men on a Mission versus the Quebecers with Johnny Polo for the tag team titles. This ending was bullshit. It was bullshit. And they don't ever acknowledge that it was the wrong man that was counted out. It was. So they have the tag team match, and it's the Quebecers, Men on a Mission. Men on a Mission have this match won. They squish whoever the other guy is with their finisher. Mo goes to the pin, but Johnny Polo's interfering, grabbing the referee and causing, which should be disqualification, by the way, and causing problems. Then Pierre gets in, and Mo clotheslines Pierre over the top rope. The referee then counts Pierre out. He wasn't the legal man, the other guy was, but he counts the illegal man out of the match, and Men on a Mission win by countout. But Pierre wasn't the legal man. The other guy was. We saw him at the finishing move. We saw him go for the pin. If he wasn't a legal man, why were they doing the distraction? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And the Man on a Mission also holding the tag titles like they won, but he didn't. It's basically what they did at SummerSlam with Lex Luger, who won by countout and then was running around with the title like he won. Speaking of which, Yokozuna versus Lex Luger, which goes 14 minutes and 40 seconds. Donnie Wahlberg of NKOTB. They don't say New Kids on the Block. NKOTB is there to do the announcer, and he's in his gangster mode because he's talking like this. Introducing the challenger, Lex Luger. He's in his gangster mode because he doesn't talk like that. Hey, Mark Wahlberg, does your brother actually talk like that in real life? What? No. But I'm eventually gonna have to review that movie. Yeah, Yokozuna versus Lex Luger. Luger should have won this match. So after Hogan left, they were trying to get a new guy, and they said Luger was the new guy. They were pushing him. This was the moment to do it. They gave him a match. He shows up. They do a whole Lex Express things. They're on an aircraft carrier. He body slams Yokozuna. They are. It's like the WrestleMania 3 moment with Andre the Giant. They do WrestleMania moments throughout the show, but I'm ignoring them. This should have been it. They go to SummerSlam. Luger wins by countout. This should have been the crowning moment for him to win the WWE Championship. They just cockamamie finish in the Royal Rumble where both Lex Luger and Bret Hart win when Luger should have just won the match. I don't know. And a lot of people say, well, Luger just didn't have what it takes to be the next big star. That's bullshit. It is never the competitor, the superstar, the wrestler's fault. It is those who book them, who decide, he's not good enough. And that's their opinion. And they're usually wrong. Usually always wrong on that situation. How many times have they taken this great wrestler, WWE specifically, booked this wrestler good, and then decided, right? How many times has there been a Rusev or a Cesaro or even CM Punk in some instance? Superstars like that who could be big stars but are dropped down because they give up on them. Rusev Day is huge. This man decided, we don't need it. Cesaro was spectacular. He could have been big. Let him go. Right? The only time I can concede that it is a wrestler's fault is with drugs, like Jeff Hardy or certain other things. And I know that Lex Luger kind of had a thing with that, but I don't think that was still WCW. Luger should have won this match. Because he never got his fair shake as a champion. The only time he ever won a world championship was in WCW, and he lost it a couple of days later to Hogan because politics. Because Hogan... Politics. He should have won this. And not only that, this match is also solid by the fact that it's a special guest referee match, and they do this twice. Mr. Perfect is here as a special guest referee. The match is fine, but the match ends when Luger sort of pushes Mr. Perfect, and Mr. Perfect's like, hey, you can't touch me, I'm the referee, you're disqualified. First of all, he didn't really push you, and that's not how it works. This was supposed to lead into a feud, but there was problems with Perfect and his injuries and just didn't work out. So, yeah. But around this year's also the special guest timekeeper there, I think. We get... So, Harvey Whippleman comes out and starts berating Howard Finkel for his hairpiece. And then Earthquake comes out. Adam Bomb is also there. Adam Bomb is with him. Earthquake comes out. Apparently it's supposed to be Earthquake versus Ludwig Borga. But Ludwig Borga was injured, so he couldn't do it. And this match between these two lasts 35 seconds. Earthquake squishes him. 1, 2, 3. It's over. We get the highlight of the night. Razor Ramon versus HBK in a ladder match. And you know, I always thought it was weird that HBK didn't win the title. But I know now that behind the scenes thing, apparently, HBK Michaels didn't want to drop the Intercontinental Championship, so they stripped him of it. I don't know what the story, I remember what the storyline rule was for it, but Razor Ramon wins it in the Battle Royal. Then Shawn Michaels shows up with another Intercontinental Championship and says, hey, I'm the rightful championship. I never lost it. I was never pinned, blah, 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 blah. So I always thought, well, then it should make sense that Shawn Michaels wins this match. Like Bret Hart should have won the opening match. But Razor always wins. But Razor wins. I always knew that because I played the 30 years of WrestleMania match on 2K14. It was a hard match. Actually, I think I had to have the Groby help me. But anyway, just back then I wasn't that good. I got better. I got better, but yeah. So Razor wins this. Diesel is kicked out, but then comes back. It doesn't really help. Yeah. But it's fine. Bill Clinton is now talking to Ted DiBiase. You know, everyone has a price for a $1 million man. Okay. Apparently there was supposed to be a 10-man tag. Here's the all-star list for you. IRS, the Head Shrinkers, Rick Martel, and Jeff Jarrett versus the 1, 2, 3 Kids, Sparky Plug, Tatanka, and the Smoking Guns. That ain't star-studded. Boy, did this company need Steve Austin. Boy. The Undertaker was not on this card either because they were doing an angle where he had disappeared for a year, so he wouldn't start coming back till SummerSlam. Leslie Nielsen would show up trying to find him. So he wasn't here. That was a big loss. You didn't have your Rocks or Austins or anything. Shawn Michaels was still on the mid-card. There was no Triple H to be seen. You didn't have your really big guys. So it makes sense that Bret Hart would end up winning the title at the end of this, sure. Before we get to that, though, I wrote down, what the fuck is this video package? Because they do a video package segment. First of all, they're like, let's take it to WrestleMania 9. And the next time I know they're doing this video package, I'm like, what happened to WrestleMania 9? Apparently they went to it, I just wasn't paying attention enough. There's this weird video package that I'm sure was dubbed for the network because the music, they couldn't use the music. But there's no dialogue over it. It's just some weird hillbilly music for Bret Hart, and then some Rocky-style montage music for Yokozuna. It's not like we have this collision where they tell the story of how... No, it's showing all the highlights from Bret's career, showing all the highlights from Yokozuna's career, then we go to the match. Burt Reynolds is here with Jenny Garth, even though he left with Rhonda Shear. I don't know. And Roddy Piper is the special guest referee. I think you guys know this by now. I'm not a fan of special guest referee matches. They're just a way to get a cop-out for the match. As we saw in the earlier match with Yokozuna and Lex Luger, the referee was used to have a screwy finish. And that's how it went. Also, no further WrestleMania 27. Jerry Lawler won that match, but because of Austin's interference, even though he was the referee and it was completely illegal, they gave it to Michael Cole, which, by the way, I do not consider that official in my canon. Personally, Cole lost that match. So whenever he goes, "I'm undefeated at WrestleMania," I said, "No, you're not. You lost the match. Your shoulders were down. Referee counted 3. You lost. I don't care what some fucking computer says. You lost. Plain and simple." Anyway, Yokozuna Bret Hart. This is a good match. The finish to this match, though, has always been a head scratcher. Because it's like, really, you couldn't have him. You couldn't have Bret win clean here. You couldn't have him do something, put him in a sharpshooter, hit a pile driver. Nothing. This is before Austin, so pile drivers were still legal. No, you had to have Yokozuna lose his balance on the ropes when he went for the bonsai drop. Bret Hart moved out of the way, and he just pins him. Apparently, falling was enough to them down for 3. It's kind of, and then the rest of this is just Bret Hart's music playing and then Owen Hart standing there. There's really no dialogue. I think they say some dialogue at first, but then it just ends awkwardly with Bret Hart's music and Owen standing there. And I don't know. This is, like I said, there's a reason why the only real thing they highlight is that ladder match, because there's really nothing. Bret versus Owen is good. Sure. And you had that Yokozuna versus Bret Hart match in games before, but it's just a meh show overall. It just doesn't feel like a WrestleMania show. Like, what? This is WrestleMania, and you have matches like Bam Bam and Luna versus Doink and Dink. A 35-second squash match between Earthquake and Atom Bomb. There was supposed to be a 10-man tag match that also wouldn't have fit here. The Quebecers and Man on Mission could have been good if it was just a clean finish. No matter who won the match, it was a clean finish, and they didn't count out the wrong guy who wasn't even the legal man in the match. Maybe there was something about, he couldn't tell the difference, but it doesn't make any sense. I don't know. The women's match was also kind of meh, and I understand that Vince didn't care about women's matches at this point, so I don't know. A confusing Falls Count Anywhere match with rules that don't make sense. It's a mess show. Hopefully they get better. My planned itinerary for the WrestleManias I'm doing are now 14, 17, 18, and 19. That's what I got planned. It's my itinerary. I don't know if I'll get to them all, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to do them one per day. We'll see. So, what are your thoughts on WrestleMania 10? Leave me a comment. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.